I balanced the casserole carefully as I climbed the steps to Evan's house. Sunday dinners were supposed to mean belonging, the kind of warmth that stitched families together. I told myself I was carrying more than food. I was carrying years of sacrifice, love, and hope that one day it would all circle back. The door swung open before I could knock. Mara's voice greeted me first. Who invited that old woman? It was not shouted, just loud enough to be heard, loud enough to sting. A ripple of amusement traveled through the room behind her. Evan's colleagues' faces I barely knew glanced at me. The way one glances at a stranger who has wandered into the wrong house. I searched for my son. He stood near the fireplace, a drink in his hand, eyes cast down as if the glass demanded his devotion. He didn't speak, didn't defend me. The casserole grew heavier in my arms. I placed it down with a smile that was nothing but a mask. Thought I'd bring something to share. No one stopped me as I left. No one asked me to stay outside. Dusk pressed soft against the street. By the time I reached my car, the casserole felt like a stone lodged in my chest. At home, silence met me at the door, patient and familiar. My townhouse was modest, yes, but it was mine. Its walls carried no judgment, no whispered insults. Only the steady hum of the refrigerator, the creak of old floorboards, the comfort of being unseen. That night I lay awake remembering all the times I had bent my life to carry theirs. Pawning my wedding ring so Evan could finish school. Working late nights to scrape together the down payment for this very house on Westfield. Moving into their home when Mara was bedridden. Rocking my grandson through the dark while she slept. Mothers are supposed to give, I told myself. But the giving had become endless, invisible, swallowed whole by their silence. The phone rang days later. Evan's name glowed on the screen, and for a fleeting second, I thought he might ask how I was. Instead, his voice was steady, rehearsed. "Mom, it's best if you give us more space. Holidays, of course, but Mara thinks it's easier this way." Then Mara's voice slid in. Crisp, final. "You've done enough." The words echoed long after the call ended. I repeated them aloud. Done enough. I felt the weight of them twist into something sharper. That night, I opened the drawer of my desk. The papers were exactly where I had left them. The deed, the trust documents, my lawyer's careful clauses. My name was inked beside Evan's. A reminder of what I had given, and of what they had forgotten. They thought the house was theirs, but as long as I lived, it was mine. The next blow came by accident. An email forwarded to me by mistake. A banker's message to Evan about a loan collateral tied to the Westfield house. My house. My signature still on the deed. Their carelessness was my clarity. I carried the email to my lawyer, Ms. Calhoun, who had guided me through the documents years before. She scanned the papers, then looked up with calm certainty. "They can't touch it, Karen. The life estate is yours. If you want to sell tomorrow, they have no power to stop you." The words settled like a cloak across my shoulders. For years I had felt powerless. Now I held the pen. The listing went live within a week. By the time my coffee cooled the next morning, there were offers. It's a full cash bid by afternoon. The day I signed the papers, my hand didn't tremble. The pen felt steady, like it had been, waiting for this moment all along. When Evan and Mara appeared at my door days later, panic clung to them like sweat. "Mom," Evan gasped, "what have you done?" "There's a sold sign in the yard." People walking through our house are home talking about paint colors. Our house. My voice was steady. "You mean the one I paid for?" The one I never signed away? Mara's eyes flashed, her phone clutched like a weapon. You don't understand. We had a loan. Without the house, the bank. She stopped. The rest lodged in her throat. Evan rubbed the back of his neck, his movements jerky. If we can't cover it, we'll lose everything. Please, Mom, help us. I let the silence expand. Once I would have rushed in, opened my checkbook, tried to save them. But not this time. I'm not your safety net, I said softly. I'm your mother. The words hit harder than refusal. Evan's face strained. Mara stared as if she had never truly seen me before. They left quietly. Shoulders bowed beneath consequences of their own making. The quiet after they left was not heavy, it was liberating. Weeks passed. I poured myself into my townhouse, painted the walls in warm tones, replanted the garden, hung back the photographs Mara had banished 2 boxes. Evan as a boy holding a fish beside his father. My parents' wedding portrait. Piece by piece, I stitched myself back into my own life. I rewrote my will too, striking out the old lines, redirecting what little I had toward a nonprofit for women who had nowhere to turn. Generosity, but on my terms this time. Almost a month. Later, Evan came alone. He looked older, worn. He stood in my freshly painted living room and said what I had once thought I'd never hear. Mom, I'm sorry. I should have defended you. I forgot what you gave up for me. I listened, my hands resting calmly in my lap. His words were fragile, and I had learned the difference between apology and change. I appreciate that, I said evenly. But understand this, I won't be treated like I don't matter again. He nodded slowly, his gaze lowered. When he finally met my eyes, I gave him the truth that had waited on my tongue since the night Mara called me an old woman in my own house. Next time, I said, invite the woman who bought the roof over your head. Silence filled the room. Not hostile, just heavy, truthful. When he left, I poured coffee, sat at the kitchen table, and let the morning light spill across the wood. The silence was no longer lonely. It was mine. For the first time in years, peace didn't feel borrowed. It felt earned.